Friday, the 24th of October, 2025, Rob Snyder left his Melville home at 8:30 a.m. and said goodbye to his wife, Roslyn. He has not been seen since. No sightings, no CCTV, no contact, and crucially, his vehicle is also missing. And that one detail changes everything. East of the ocean and south of Perth's Swan River lies the suburb Oakford. I'm Asha, forensic scientist and criminologist, and this is Exhuming the Truth. Hey Perth, we've got an active missing persons case that urgently needs your help. You're looking at a photo of Rob Snyder. Friday the 24th of October was the last time he was seen. It was around 8:30 a.m. He was leaving his home in Melville. He was seen by his wife at that time. He left home driving his white Subaru Forester, and police managed to ping his car travelling south on Stock Road at 11:38 a.m. After that, the next and final ping that they got of his car was travelling east in the Oakford area on Thomas Road. He has not been seen or heard from since and did not have his mobile phone on him. He was planning on spending the night at their other home in Heron that night, so he did have an overnight bag with him with some toiletries and some clothes. If you live around Oakford or Cardup or anywhere around these suburbs in southeast and southwest Perth, please keep an eye out for his white Subaru Forester. Please check your Ring doorbells, your CCTV camera footage and things like that. And of course, keep an eye out if you can. If you're not in these areas, that's okay too. You can help by sharing this far and wide and helping us help the Snyder family find their beloved husband and father, Rob. Most missing persons searches start with a general radius and a lot of footwork. But in a case such as Rob's, where he and his vehicle are missing, it completely shifts the dynamic. A vehicle can leave traces a person alone cannot, and it can reach areas like tracks and reserves that someone on foot might find difficult. It gives us more to work with, but it also gives us more ground to cover. Part of our services at Exhuming the Truth includes searches and search coordination, and I want to show you what we do and bring you along on the journey to hopefully find Rob. This case is obviously very different to a regular missing persons search because we also have a vehicle involved. We are having to drive off-road on tracks that we wouldn't usually go down when just looking for an individual. So on our first day of the search, we did a lot of off-road trails, a lot of drives next to railroads and things like that. And local knowledge is so essential in the first few days, especially ticking things off our checklist, which is exactly what we were doing. Good morning, everybody. This is day 2 of our search for Rob Snyder in Perth. So yesterday we covered basically from where he was last caught on plate recognition after the Thomas Road and Nicholson Road intersection in Oakford. So we covered from there pretty much all the way up to South Western Highway, and then down we did Oakford, Byford, Carna, and those sorts of areas. We're going to leave the rest of that kind of boxed in area of search to a couple of volunteers who are going to drive around for us, because we found this morning a section of Southwestern Highway that does not have the AMPR plate recognition. So that means he could have crossed over at that section, which brings us across to the Serpentine Jarrahdale area. So we're going to be doing a lot of the remote areas in Jarrahdale and Serpentine today. So fingers crossed, and we'll keep you updated. When searching remote bush tracks and off-road areas, the environment itself can hold subtle clues. These tracks are important because they're often used by hikers or hunters, the forestry people, four-wheel drives, and people looking for isolated areas. And in missing persons investigations, they can become key locations to examine. One of the first things we look for is disturbances to the natural landscape. This is the vehicle that we are looking for, and also an image of Rob himself. But this might include things like broken branches, disturbed vegetation, flattened grass, and things like that. We also examine ground impressions on the dirt track. On this particular day, we were searching down Kingsbury Drive in the Serpentine area. Hi guys, so we have just got home from day 2 looking for Rob Snyder. Sorry about the lighting, it's not ideal. So unfortunately, we didn't have any luck today. We did search the eastern side of Southwestern Highway, so basically the Serpentine Dam, the Jarradale area, a lot of off-road tracks. There were plenty of other off-road tracks that we could have checked. However, we had a bit of a thought to go back onto Thomas Road and check where the next AMPR camera was, to see what roads were in between there. So upon doing that, obviously the camera that caught Rob's license plate on Thomas Road was just after Nicholson Road, which is just after Stella Equestrian, and he was traveling east. And the next camera that was able to capture him, if he had reached it, was actually the intersection of Thomas Road and Tonkin Highway, but that did not pick up his plates, so he did not reach that area. So the only main road, or any road that he could have taken, we have narrowed down to Cargatitch Road. I hope that's how you say it. I'll put it on the map. And we believe he has used that road and gone south. So future searches are going to be based around this. I'm going to do some mapping tonight and hopefully come up with a smaller boxed in area for the next search. But it's not all bad news. We're still hopeful. So
At Exhuming the Truth, our goal is always the same. Every single person deserves to be found.
good morning, everyone. I am going into day 3 on our active missing person search for Rob Snyder. We're going to go south a little bit today, into maybe just south of Carnup Road. We've got a couple of people doing drone searches too, which is amazing. And I'm going to contact the local guy who does the fire breaks today. So hopefully that will come out with some information or a clue on where to look next. But I'm hopeful after that little push in the right direction yesterday with the AMPR, narrowing down what roads he could have gone down. So that's what we're doing today, and I will update you as we go. I feel like this is going to be one of those cases where it really relies on local knowledge. And while this is like local to me, I've only lived here for a couple of years, and I really only tend to go like to the same 3 spots, which is the shopping centre, my kids' school, and my horses. So my knowledge is limited. I am doing my best, and by using Google Earth and things like that, I am doing the GIS mapping. But like I said, there's so many people out there helping, and many people messaging areas to look as well, which is amazing. We've got a couple of people using drones too. So I am hopeful, especially after yesterday finding that small window on Thomas Road where he had to turn off. So I'm hopeful for today, and if not today, then tomorrow or the next day. But we'll update you as we go, and hopefully we have good results.
Another important factor in a search is accessibility, particularly when a vehicle is involved. And when analysing bush tracks, we consider things like this, like could a vehicle reach this location?
Hi guys, search day 5 has just wound up, and I'm not overly thrilled to give this update. I mean, it could be worse, but it could also be better. Now, when we started, we were told that all major roads in these areas that we're searching have AMPR. And AMPR is automatic number plate recognition. So if a car drives in whatever direction, they pick it up, and that's how we can kind of tell where someone's been. And that's been super helpful so far because it's pinged Rob, excuse me, it's pinged Rob into locations, and ultimately the last known location on Thomas Road. Now, today, upon revisiting search areas that we've already covered a number of times, and then a couple of new areas we haven't covered, I thought I'm going to go and have a look where these cameras are and just make eliminations here where like he cannot possibly have crossed. Hold on, my dog's chewing on a bottle right now. So Southwestern Highway is a massive one because that runs vertical, and it separates basically the west side to the east side. So if Rob had a chance to cross that road, he is venturing into the east side, which is like Jarrahdale, Serpentine, and it's very, very dense bushland there. And that makes a huge impact on our search, and it expands the search radius like a lot. So I noted a couple of intersections on Southwestern Highway today, and I'll read them to you. So we've got, obviously, the intersection is with Southwestern Highway. Watkins Road, Shanley Road, Transit Road, Cougley Road, Feast Road, Selkirk Road, Castle Road, Summerfield Road, and Carnup Road. Now, all of these intersections had no AMPR, and we were told and given the information from authorities that these main roads did have AMPR. So that's kind of thrown a spanner in the works. It's fine. We will expand our search area. I just wish we had known sooner, because we would have definitely expanded sooner, I guess. I also went down Ankertail Road to search that camera setup. And at the Chewett intersection, Scoville Crescent intersection, Battersby Road intersection, Lyon Road intersection, and Treeby Road intersection, there's also no cameras. So that's what we learnt today. But honestly, look, like, we're going to remain hopeful. We just need to expand the search area. I'm going to set up a volunteer search staging on Saturday, and hopefully people will come down and help us out. We have got a couple of people using drones right now, which is fantastic. We've got a couple of people going off-road, which is also great. We've obviously got Cam, who's happy to go off-road, but he's also working full-time. And yeah, look, I'll keep you updated as we go. We are going to remain as hopeful as we can, and I guess continue to have a look at where the cameras are so we can narrow a better search area down. We did get a bit more information about Rob's mental health struggles lately from his wife, which is really sad. But that does help us a lot with our search. So I did do a victimology document on Rob, which helped narrow down the search a bit today. But now we're going to expand it, but in different areas. So fingers crossed. I'll update you. Thank you so much for following along, and thank you so much to the people who have been helping out.
You're in my hoodie, on the carpet, cold pizza on the coffee table, phone on the floor, we forgot it, laugh until our lungs feel unstable. It's moments like this I wish I could replay, freeze frame every second, never let it fade. If this is all we ever get, I'd still call it perfect, yeah. It's moments like this that make a lifetime worth it. Steal my blanket, steal my fries, and say you did. And you hum a song a little off key, somehow that's my favorite rhythm. It's moments like this I wish I could replay, freeze frame every second, never let it fade. If this is all we ever get, I'd still call it perfect, yeah. It's moments like this that make a lifetime worth it.
Where I sound like this. I'm not sick, I'm just incredibly tired. So there's good news today. Obviously, because this case is so different, to so many other missing persons cases because we have a vehicle involved. Excuse the bed hair. Technically, people are thinking, well, it should be easier for you to be able to find him, right? Because we've got something as large as a vehicle to find. And, you know, in the beginning, that is kind of what our thought was. Then it got a bit iffy because we're like, okay, he really could be anywhere with this vehicle, bodies of water and things like that. And then we've just realized that Rob obviously went missing in October, and again in his white Subaru Forester. And the Google Images aerial footage has since been updated in November, which is great for us because what we've been able to do is let the public know through our social media saying, hey, he went missing in October, but in November, since, you know, he has been missing, we've got this updated aerial imagery, which is fantastic because so many people want to help but can't for a lot of different reasons. So I've said to everybody, what you can do to help is at home, when you're doom scrolling on your phone, maybe jump onto Google Maps and go into satellite, and those images are updated. So if you see anything that might look like an abandoned white vehicle in the areas of like Oakford, Jarrahdale, Serpentine, you can flag that, send me a pin, and we'll go and look. So that's what we are doing at this moment. I just have the strongest feeling that Rob's vehicle and Rob are in the Jarrahdale State Forest. I've done something called a geographical heat map. And basically what that is, you know, a simple map of, you know, last known locations, known and frequent locations to Rob and his family, like home addresses, holiday houses, places of employment for people in the family, where other families live and things like that. And we use all of those locations and we put them in a probability matrix, which gives us a heat map of like that game that we used to play when you were little. I don't know if you did. And it's like, you're hot, you're cold, you're hot, you're cold. It's kind of like that, but using well-known data to support Rob and his usual frequent locations. And it's kind of narrowed down areas that he could be. And I want to go hard in on Jarrahdale State Forest. I think that even with the ANPR issues, this is an area he could have reached while avoiding ANPR. We also spoke to an ANPR camera specialist who says that they're really not reliable at all, and there's a lot of ways that cars can be missed, which is unfortunate. But our heat map has kind of led us towards the Jarrahdale State Forest area. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's where we're going to be focusing our time on. And then we also have a number of other people who are helping us in the Boddington areas and just like general public driving to and from work in these areas and taking note for us. Our last point of alternative searching, I guess, will be bodies of water, but there are not a whole lot of bodies of water that are near roadways in this area where he could have accidentally gone off-road into the water. But we're going to stick to Jarrahdale State Forest. We didn't realize exactly how many off-road tracks there are, and of course some of them go in quite far. So that's what we're focusing on next. So we'll keep you updated. I'll take a little bit of video footage when we're out there, but of course our priority when we're out there is to keep everybody who is searching safe as well. So hopefully I get back to you with some good news. Hi guys, while I'm doing a bit of a debrief about the last little while searching for Rob Snyder, I haven't taken as much content as I would have liked to, which is a lesson I've learned and will do better in next time. But I want to just spread a quick message, which I spoke about on social media the other day. There's my gorgeous girl, Shadow, about missing persons searches and just cases in general, and about the importance of reporting things that seem like nothing. For example, we're obviously looking for a white Subaru Forester in regards to Rob. And in our searches, in our off-road searches in Jarrahdale State Forest, we have come across a large number of abandoned vehicles. And while they're not the vehicles we're actually looking for right now, these vehicles could play a very big factor in other cases. Move it or lose it, girlfriend. Yeah, they could factor in a lot of other cases, mental health crises, stolen vehicles, theft of property, other missing persons, other cold cases. So it's so important when you come across things like that. Well, it's not what you're looking for. It's important to report it, which is what we have done with all the vehicles that we have found. Isn't that right, Miss? Shadow wanted to join the chat. So a lot of work really goes in behind the scenes in missing persons cases when it comes to that sort of thing, because you do run into unexpected roadblocks such as other vehicles and other items that could be of use in other cases. So what we usually do is take several shots of what we have found and where we have been, and then we upload those onto our database. But we also upload what we think would be necessary, like the other abandoned vehicles, onto Crime Stoppers. Just pop a pin where we found it, an image of that vehicle, and any details we can provide about it. And who knows, it's not something that they're going to follow up on with us or we'll ever really know, I guess, but you never know, again, what could be super helpful in other cases. So we could spend 2 weeks straight going down all of the tracks in Jarrahdale State Forest. Unfortunately, we don't have the funding to do so. Unfortunately, we don't have any funding, and this is part of the reason why I've brought you behind the scenes to show you how important this work is and how much we will benefit from grant funding. So, yeah, we could be out there full time for 2 weeks and still not cover every track in Jarrahdale State Forest, but I feel like we're on the money in there. I think this could be the right spot that we're looking. Maybe we just need to expand in different directions, but I'll keep you updated. I think a lot of the time, people don't realize that searches are slow, and most of the day, especially if you're on foot, it's a very slow day. Like, you're scanning the ground. There's a lot that factors in, like the weather and things like that alter things. It's very difficult work, and bushland can conceal objects shockingly well. And I know we're looking for a vehicle, but when we did our last search, I couldn't even see Cam 10 meters ahead of me when he was searching. It was insane. But yeah. I was hoping that this angle would kind of show you how dense it is out here and how hard it is to see anything a couple of meters ahead of you. I'm just about to park the car and I'll get a better video to show you guys.
It is with deep sadness that we share on behalf of the family of Rob Snyder that Rob and his vehicle were located last night in Jarrahdale State Forest. Rob has sadly been found deceased. Our hearts are with Rob's partner Roslyn, his children, his grandchildren, and all of his loved ones during this incredibly difficult time. No words can truly ease the pain of such a loss, but we hope that even in these heartbreaking circumstances, his family is able to see some kind of measure of peace. We would have literally gone past him several times. How far from our last search?
20 meters.
What?
Actually, just under 20 meters.
You're joking. Hey team. So we unfortunately got the news about Rob and his vehicle being found from his wife Roslyn. I have to send all of my love and gratitude to Roslyn for allowing us to help her during such a difficult time, and for essentially trusting a complete stranger while we are a business. While we are a business and this is our job, it's not easy to put trust in people, especially with something so personal. So thank you for trusting us and allowing us to help you.
When I got the news and was able to get the location, I was absolutely devastated for the outcome. Partially, it's hard to not be disappointed in myself for not finding him and being so close. Like, we were literally, I don't know if you heard my phone call, we were less than 20 meters away from finding the vehicle, which in turn found Rob. And it's come with a lot of disappointment. In fact, it's hit me harder with disappointment than what I anticipated it would, because I feel like if we had stayed longer, or if we had have gone a little bit further, or, a little bit this way or a little bit that way, like, I guess it's natural for us as humans to think that way. I'm not going to lie, I am super disappointed. We worked really hard, but, in the end, I am glad that they do have resolution. Hopefully this is like a learning curve for us. I think our team did amazingly. And now that I have 2 phones, a GoPro and a video camera, I'll be able to actually film content properly for you guys in the future, and kind of show you feet on the ground work that we're doing. But thanks for joining me behind the scenes a little bit. I hope you have enjoyed it. It's been a bit of a mess putting this together, I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully that's something that gets easier with time. But with everything, we've got to start somewhere. So I love you guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting the family. And have a beautiful day. Before I say goodbye to you, I just want to acknowledge that conversations around mental health, trauma and loss can be incredibly difficult for some people listening. If anything in this video has brought up difficult emotions for you, please know that you don't have to navigate that alone. Support is available, and reaching out to someone you trust or a professional can make a real difference. If you're in Australia, you can contact Lifeline Australia on 131114 or access online chat support through their website. You can also reach out to Beyond Blue at 1300 22 4636 for mental health support and counselling.